In a city in nature like Singapore, wherever we go, we are surrounded by green, green, and more green.
That's right. In fact, there are many shades of them. Our island may be small, but it hosts many different types of vegetation. Do you know what they are?
Well, we have grasslands, which consist mostly of grass, scrublands, which has grass cover and includes shrubs, woodlands, which is where you can find some tree cover, but where the sparse tree canopy is insufficient for forest species to find shelter and food. And finally, we have forests, which are dominated by trees and other woody vegetation.
In fact, the tropical rainforest is the main vegetation type that is native to Singapore. Forests consist of various layers of vegetation, such as the understory, subcanopy, the canopy, and finally the really tall emergent layer. Our primary rainforests have high species richness, the most abundant species coming from the Pterocarps, which are known for yielding good timber. Before 1819, our island used to be almost totally covered by primary tropical rainforests. By 1900, only 10% of these primary rainforests were left.
However, we are seeing secondary forests emerge from disused agricultural land. Mature secondary forests are those at later stages of regrowth. We find them mainly within or near our nature reserves. These forests still have high species richness, including species found in primary rainforests. In contrast, young secondary forests at earlier stages of regrowth have lower species richness. In areas that have experienced more degradation, such forests are dominated by plants that thrive in soils with low nutrients.
In other areas where the land was once completely cleared and left abandoned to fallow, the soil is degraded. Here is where we find exotic-dominated secondary forests. As its name suggests, these areas are dominated by highly invasive vegetation, which grow and reproduce quickly, crowding out our native species. On their own, these forests have poor ability to regenerate into the tropical rainforests that are native to Singapore. So, when it comes to our conservation efforts, we take a science-based and holistic approach. Different strategies are adopted for different areas depending on the type of vegetation and its importance in strengthening ecological connectivity.
All of these contribute towards our goals of enriching biodiversity across the island and achieving our city in nature vision. We do this by safeguarding the core biodiversity areas in Singapore through our nature reserves, which are home to many native plants and animals. Beyond our nature reserves, we also secure and enhance our buffer areas and create networks of nature parks. These buffers protect the nature reserves against developments that abut them and provide ecologically interdependent habitats for the flora and fauna. We develop ecological corridors or stepping stones to link the nature reserves with other areas of rich biodiversity to provide pathways for animal movement and seed dispersal. At the same time, we are restoring and intensifying nature in our green spaces and urban landscape.
With the community, we restore disturbed patches within our nature reserves and surrounding buffer parks. We plant nitrogen-fixing species to improve soil conditions, fruit-bearing species to attract fauna for seed dispersal and pollination, and remove exotic weeds. Recovery efforts of our rare or endangered species are also underway, ensuring that future generations will still be able to spot them out here.
Through surveys and long-term monitoring, we also learn more about our forests. This helps us to make better, informed decisions. If you'd like to help us with our restoration efforts, there are many ways you can do so. Join us for our Biodiversity Watch programs where you can help us study our wildlife, or plant a tree under the 1 Million Trees movement. The movement aims to restore nature back into our city by planting 1 million more trees by 2030.
There is so much to do and so little time. Learn about how you can help us transform Singapore into a city in nature today.